Hello everybody, welcome. TGIF, Trade Geeks, it's Friday. Today is February 21st, 2025. And today's hot topic that we chose is, what is tariff engineering? And this is a very important term, particularly because there's a lot of noise and a lot of questions going back and forth about the Trump tariffs. So like usual, when I do these talks, usually I start out with some quick facts, some statistics. So I'll start out. Tariffs were very important for the United States in the 1920s. And these tariffs were very helpful to the United States because it helped protect infant industries, emerging technologies, and emerging industries in the U.S. And it also generated revenue for the country. From the 1800s, the tariffs, we learned the tariffs helped some companies and hurt some companies. So if we look at it from a historical perspective in the 1800s, tariffs helped the northern manufacturing businesses while it hurt the southern agricultural businesses. So from 1790 to 1860, tariffs made up 90% of the federal revenue. But from 1971 to today, it's been less than 2% of our federal revenue comes from tariffs. So while tariffs played an important part in the past, they haven't so much in the present. So what is tariff engineering? That's our topic today, and I want to cover what really tariff engineering is. And tariff engineering is a strategy employed by companies and importers to minimize the impacts of tariffs on their imported goods by altering the product's design, tariff code classification, or the sourcing of their raw materials, right? So again, number one, product redesign. Some companies get very creative on how they design their finished products in order to change how it's classified to make sure they can minimize the impact of the tariff. Another thing besides reclassification of the product, right, is sourcing alternatives, buying the raw materials from other countries besides the ones that are being affected. Changing the assembly location is important. Like we're seeing with the steel tariffs that are already implemented where companies are having to pay 25%, they're able to use some of these other programs like 9802, which can benefit them depending on where the assembly location is and where some of these components come from, right? So there's exemptions that companies can use. That's part of tariff engineering, is analyzing all these exemptions that are available. So what we recommend is you always, collaborate with your internal compliance organizations. Most companies have an import-export department. You can, consult with them. Also, don't hesitate to consult with other customs experts, attorneys, customs brokers, consultants. There's a lot of companies engaged in this business that can help you. And then also don't forget, documentation and compliance is critical. Every case is a case-specific, case-by-case basis. So don't generalize, map out your process. Get that advice. Here at TradeFlex, our mission is, I got to put a plug in for us, is to make your supply chain simple so you can be nimble. So again, here at TradeFlex, we're your one and only stop for mitigating tariffs. We help our clients mitigate tariffs with different strategies, from analyzing the suppliers, looking at some nearshoring strategies, applying these tariff engineering principles that I talked about. So, again, I'm hoping that these tariffs are a lot of negotiating tactics, maybe. I think that we've already seen some benefit. We're seeing that, we're seeing some attention on the border. Those of you that live on the southern border, it's now taking 3 to 6 hours to cross the bridge as Mexico is increasing their inspection of vehicles that are coming from Mexico into the U.S. So, there's going to be some cause and effect from all this. The key is, as we explained in our last video, is remember, faster fish eats bigger fish and slower fish. So thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend and have a good one. Bye-bye.